What happens when a sleek Italian masterpiece meets the chaos of a holiday road trip? Can a car built for speed and style survive the Griswold family's Christmas misadventures? Buckle up, gearheads, because we're diving into the world of the Ferrari 308 GTS, the Christmas Vacation Movie Edition. Picture this. It's 1983, and the silver screen lights up with National Lampoons Christmas Vacation. In the middle of the holiday madness, a bright red Ferrari 308 GTS stands out, driven by the mysterious Christie Brinkley. The Ferrari 308 GTS, with its Love Me license plate, distracts Chevy Chase's hapless Clark Griswold, adding a dash of glamour to his suburban struggles. But did you know National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was inspired by a short story? Yes, John Hughes's Christmas 59, published in National Lampoon in December 1980, served as the foundation for the film. And here's a fun detail. Clark finds an old home movie labeled Christmas 59 in the film, though it's mistakenly shown as Christmas 1955. Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's explore every inch of this iconic machine, from its V8 to its timeless design, and see why it's still a dream car decades later. The Ferrari 308 GTS made its grand debut in 1977 at the Frankfurt Motor Show, 2 years after its coupe sibling, the 308 GTB, rolled out. Designed by the masterful Leonardo Fioravanti of Pininfarina, this car was a visual symphony of sharp angles and flowing curves. Its Targa top design, a removable roof panel finished in satin black, offered the best of both worlds: the thrill of open-air driving and the security of a semi-enclosed cabin. Unlike a full convertible, the GTS kept its structural integrity with reinforced chassis elements, ensuring it wasn't just a pretty face but a performer too. The body, originally steel after the brief fiberglass run of early GTBs, stretched 4,230 millimeters long, stood 1,120 millimeters tall, and spanned 1,720 millimeters wide, riding on a 2,340 millimeter wheelbase. At just 2,400 pounds dry, its lightweight construction made it easy to handle, a trait that would serve it well dodging holiday traffic or Griswold family antics. Under the hood, this car housed a 3.0-liter V8 engine, technically 2,926.90 cc, with a bore and stroke of 81 mm by 71 mm. This transverse-mounted 90-degree V8 was a work of art, featuring twin overhead camshafts per bank and, in its early carbureted form, 4 Weber 40 DCNF carburetors. European models pumped out 255 horsepower at 7,700 RPM, while US versions like the one in Christmas Vacation delivered 237 horsepower at 6,600 RPM due to emissions controls. That power coursed through a 5-speed manual transmission with a single plate clutch, driving the rear wheels with precision via rack and pinion steering system. The suspension was all independent, with unequal double wishbones, coaxial coil springs, hydraulic dampers, and anti-roll bars front and rear. And the performance? It delivered. The 308 GTS could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 6.5 seconds, a respectable figure for its day, and hit a top speed of around 157 miles per hour. That's more than enough to outrun Aunt Edna's station wagon or make a quick getaway from a tree-laden holiday disaster. The mid-engine layout wasn't just for show, it gave the car near-perfect balance, enhancing handling and agility. Wet sump lubrication graced US models, while European variants enjoyed a dry sump system, but both sang the same Italian opera when the throttle opened wide. Step inside, and the 308 GTS blended sportiness with a touch of luxury. The cabin was snug, built for two, with high-bolstered leather seats cradling driver and passenger. A tall center console housed the gated shifter. Early models kept it simple, but by 1982, with the Quattro Valvole upgrade, creature comforts like air conditioning became optional, perfect for keeping cool during a holiday heat wave. The 3-spoke steering wheel, redesigned over the years, felt just right in hand, while the dashboard's analog gauges were all about retro charm. In the movie, that interior framed Christie Brinkley's fleeting cameo, a fleeting sense of calm amid the Griswold storm. Now, let's talk about evolution. The 308 GTS wasn't static, it grew with the times. By 1980, emissions regulations forced Ferrari to ditch the carburetors for Bosch K Jetronic fuel injection, birthing the 308 GTSI. Power dipped to 214 horsepower, but the car gained reliability and compliance. Then, in 1982, the Quattro Valvole version arrived, boasting 4 valves per cylinder. This bumped output back up to 240 horsepower for Europe and 232 horsepower for the US, restoring the GTS's vigor. The QV, like the 1981 model in Christmas Vacation, sported subtle updates. a revised grille, rectangular driving lights, and electric mirrors with a Ferrari badge. It was peak 308, refined yet raw, a fitting co-star for a comedy classic. But gearheads, here's a surprising shift. Ferrari's 308 GTB started with a lightweight glass-reinforced plastic GRP body, but it cracked easily. So in June 1977, Ferrari made a bold move, switching to heavier steel bodies for both the GTB and GTS, sacrificing weight for durability. Talking about features, the 308 GTS had plenty to flaunt. The removable targa top is stored behind the seats in a neat vinyl cover. The rear quarter windows covered by satin black louvers, hinges open for ventilation or fuel access, adding both style and function. Optional extras included a deep front spoiler for aerodynamics, 16-inch Speedline wheels with Pirelli P7 tires for grip, and a sports exhaust to amplify that V8 growl. The 80-liter fuel tank promised decent range, ideal for long holiday hauls, while disc brakes all around ventilated and paired with independent suspension ensured stopping power matched the go. Price-wise, the 308 GTS was never cheap. In 1977, it rolled off the lot for around $28,000, which is about $140,000 in today's money. By 1983, inflation and upgrades pushed that closer to $40,000. Still a bargain compared to modern Ferraris, but a hefty sum for the era. Only 3,219 carbureted GTS models were built before the GTSI took over, with total 308 production hitting around 12,000 across all variants by 1985. Rarity varied, early fiberglass GTBs, Vetro resin numbered just 808, while GTS models dominated later years, thanks in part to Magnum PI boosting demand. The Christmas Vacation car, a 1981 GTSI, bridged the gap between carbureted glory and QV refinement, making it a sweet spot for collectors. Speaking of collectors, let's dive into resale value. Today, a 308 GTS is a mixed bag, depending on condition and variant. Early carbureted GTS models fetch $75,000 to $100,000 in excellent shape, prized for their raw sound and feel. The GTSI, like our movie star, sits lower at $50,000 to $70,000 due to its power dip, though low-mileage examples can climb higher. Quattro Valvolve models, with their restored punch, range from $65,000 to $90,000, occasionally breaking $100,000 for rare specimens. Compare that to rare fiberglass GTBs, which can soar past $200,000, and you see the GTS as the affordable classic Ferrari. And the maintenance? It's a Ferrari, so buckle up. Basic servicing runs $900 to $1,000, but a timing belt change due every few years or 12,500 miles adds another $750. And when it comes to engine rebuilds, think $15,000 or more. Carbs on early models need regular tuning, while GTSI's fuel injection demands its own care. Yet the 308's design helps. Cam belts and clutch work don't require engine removal, keeping costs reasonable. Find one with full service records like a movie car should have, and you're golden. High mileage isn't the deal breaker. These were built to be driven, not babied. But do you have any idea which iconic Ferrari models inspired the design of the 308 GTS? Well, Pininfarina drew inspiration from the sleek Ferrari Daytona and the curvy Dyno, blending their best elements into a timeless masterpiece. Culturally, the 308 GTS is a titan. Beyond Christmas Vacation, it started Magnum PI, therefore becoming Ferrari's everyman supercar. Thomas Magnum's red GTS became a 1980s icon, outshining even the GTB coupe in sales. The Cannonball Run threw it into the mix too, with Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. tearing up the screen. In Christmas Vacation, it's a quick but unforgettable moment. Brinkley's flirty wave and the V8 growl snapped Clark out of his daydream, a far cry from his clunky wood-paneled family truckster. It's the kind of car you don't just admire, you wish you'd followed it down that holiday road. Driving one today feels timeless. Not the fastest by 2025 standards. Modern hot hatches can outpace it, but it's pure. No ABS, no traction control, just you, the machine, and the road. From its 157 mile-per-hour top end to its $50,000 to $70,000 resale sweet spot, it's a tangible piece of 1980s lore. Sure, it's not perfect. Maintenance stings and power isn't earth-shattering, but it's a Ferrari you can live with, drive, and love. Christie Brinkley knew it, Chevy Chase coveted it, and now you know its story. So, for the next holiday season, skip the station wagon and chase your own Love Me Dream. Like this deep dive into the Ferrari 308 GTS, the Christmas Vacation Movie Edition? Hit that subscribe button for more such automotive stories. Whether it's outrunning a holiday disaster or just stealing the scene, the Ferrari 308 GTS is the ultimate Christmas vacation car. But here's the real question. If you had the chance, would you take a 308 GTS on a holiday road trip? Or is that a disaster waiting to happen? Let us know in the comments. And gearheads, if you're into classic American muscle, check out our last video on the muscle cars of NASCAR. You won't want to miss it.